Have you ever been to Santorini, Greece? This gem of a Greek island is a magical and gorgeous place to visit. Filled with incredible beaches, cool architecture, great restaurants, and amazing nightlife, you'll live it up on Santorini. So join Viewcation as we take a look at the best things to do in Santorini, Greece. Watch the sunset. You might think watching the sunset is an odd thing to refer to as a tourist attraction, and yet the sunsets you can see in Santorini are legendary and are a big part of why the island got so famous in the first place. In particular, Oia's sunset is what draws people in from all over the globe. It's a phenomenal sight, seeing the sun sink into the surrounding sea, especially as it soaks the rest of the island around you to marvelous shades of golden orange. A lot of people tend to gather at the Byzantine castle because it's a prime spot to watch. But that does mean it can get a little crowded. One great alternative is to book a cave hotel. These amazing spots come equipped with private verandas where you can check out the sunset alone. But if you don't want to stay there, another option is Fira. Some locals claim that the sunset view is even better there. This is partially because there's a volcano in the distance and the sun slowly dips behind it, giving the whole scene a magical look. Plus, you don't have to find a hotel there to get your own spot. There are plenty of great bars along the cliff where you can snag a table and get a stellar view of the sunset. Or you can arrive a little early and sit along the cliff for the same gorgeous sight. Hit up the beaches. Santorini is a Mediterranean island, so it probably comes as no surprise that it has phenomenal beaches. But one thing that sets Santorini beaches apart is the sand color. Because of all the years of volcanic activity on the island, there are beaches with red sand, beaches with white sand, and beaches with black sand. The sand is actually made from the hardened lava trails from centuries ago, so in a way you're sitting on the inside of a volcano as you sunbathe. The white beach is a popular spot, and like its name suggests, the sand is white there. It's a gorgeous and pristine beach, and you'll be able to sunbathe and swim to your heart's content. It's located only a boat ride away from the famous Red Beach in Akrotiri, which is actually considered by many to be the most impressive beach visually. You'll feel like you're sunbathing on Mars. It's truly a wild experience. You can get there by boat or a walking trail. And finally, the Black Beach is a sight to behold because of its stark contrast to beaches you usually see all over the world. And most people consider it the best overall beach in Santorini. Technically, its name is Pyrgos, but most locals simply refer to it as the Black Beach. One great option if you're spending some time on the beaches is to jump on a catamaran tour. They'll sail you around the island, and you'll spend time checking out the scenery, snorkeling, and eating on board. And they'll usually stop at one or more of these beaches we mentioned. It's a great way to spend the day in Santorini. Eat souvlaki. If you're looking for some top-notch and high-end eating establishments, you'll definitely find your fill in Santorini. And while we certainly recommend that experience, sometimes you want to eat something simpler and more culturally tied to the area. That's where souvlaki comes in. It's a traditional Greek street food that has long been a staple of the Greek diet and the food tourists seek out. If you've ever had a hero, you're in the ballpark. However, the meat on a souvlaki is grilled rather than sliced thin from a rotisserie. Souvlaki is a tasty and savory meal that you'll remember long after your trip to Santorini is over. One of the top spots to get it is Lucky's Souvlakis, located in Fira. Perhaps you can grab some souvlaki there before you set up camp to watch one of the legendary Fira sunsets. And while it used to be a strictly meat-eater's dish, Lucky's and other souvlaki spots in Santorini also serve vegetarian options that are just as delicious. Before we tell you more about the best things to do on Santorini, Greece, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Viewcation if you haven't already. Check out the volcano. We mentioned the volcano before as a great way to take in the sunset at Fira, but another awesome option is to take a tour where you can get an up-close and personal look. If you jump on one of the awesome volcano boat tours, they'll take you to the islets of Palea Kameni and Nea Kameni, where you'll see and smell an active volcano. Technically, Santorini, along with a bunch of nearby inlets, and Tarasia Island are all part of one giant volcano. You'll start the tour at one of three ports: the main port of Santorini, Athinios Port, Amoudi Bay, or the Fira Old Port. The first drop-off is at Nea Kameni, where you'll hike down to the volcano's crater. It's pretty surreal as you'll see bits of smoke coming out and smell the sulfuric intensity of an active volcano. Some tours will let you hang around for longer here and potentially go snorkeling nearby, serve you lunch, etc. Eventually, you'll head to the other islet, Palea Kameni. Unlike Nea Kameni, you won't be allowed onto the land to stand on top of the volcano, but you will get a chance to take a dip in the sulfur springs created by volcanic activity. You'll love the oddly green shade of the water, which is a lot warmer than you might think. Walk around Oia. If you've ever seen photographs of Santorini, it's pretty likely you've been looking at a shot of Oia. It has a unique and gorgeous look to it, and walking around this little town is mesmerizing. The buildings are gently curving and painted white, giving them an almost soft-looking exterior, and the bright colors painted on the non-white surfaces act as a sharp and gorgeous contrast, giving the whole town an almost otherworldly look. We highly recommend taking a slow stroll through the twists and turns of the narrow alleys and streets of Oia. It's not only free, but it'll be a welcome addition to your Instagram profile. Of course, because of those aspects, it can get quite crowded, so you might want to schedule your trip in either October or May. Skipping the peak of the summer months is generally a good idea, unless you don't mind the intense level of tourist crowds. Check out Pyrgos. While Oia and Fira tend to be the most hyped, you should definitely check out Pyrgos as well. It's the biggest preserved village on the island, and it's an amazing throwback to medieval times, with cycladic houses and fortified walls. You'll feel like you jumped back in time as you stroll around its narrow streets, looking through the windows of local stores and stopping for a bite in one of their many charming restaurants. And if you're a cat lover, you'll love watching all the local stray cats walking around. Pyrgos is actually the highest spot on the island, so when you're there, you'll also be able to look out over the rest of Santorini for some incredible views. And there's no better spot for that than at Pyrgos Castle. If you plan your trip during Easter time, you should definitely be in Pyrgos for Good Friday when the whole town lights up torches. It's quite the sight. Hit up the nightlife. While we wouldn't blame you if you wanted to simply spend your vacation soaking up the sun, eating, and turning in early, there's also an abundance of nightlife that Santorini and the Greek islands are famous for. Of course, Mykonos is known as the party island, but that doesn't mean Santorini doesn't have its fill of places to live it up. Fira is the primary spot for nighttime fun, as it's packed with bars and nightclubs. These often stay open until the wee hours of the morning, so you can keep partying until you see the sun. One great way to start things off is a sunset cocktail. We recommend PK Cocktail Bar, if nothing else, for the stunning sunset views. Then the town is your oyster, and you can hop around to one of the many nightclubs in Fira. Mamunia Club is perhaps the best spot, though each club has its own fun offerings, so it might be worthwhile to check out a few. Now it's time to hear from you. Have you ever been to Santorini? Do you plan on going? Let us know in the comment section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Viewcation if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.